Hello, hello. How is everyone this evening? I'm ready to get some reading done. I'm so excited. I had, what do I have? Let's see, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 books I need to read for April. You ready to see how many I've read? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not even half. So I have a lot more reading to do. I'm trying, man. Just got back from that cruise. Wave Riders, highly, highly recommend. It is an absolute blast. The writers who came got a lot of writing done. The and editors, they got to work with an editor, and they got to talk to each other and form critique groups, and it's just, and what better place to have a writer's retreat than on the open water? It's beautiful. And because we've actually had this first Wave Riders now, we've got all kinds of pictures that you can see of how much fun we had and how much writing. There was over, I think it was 20,000 words were written. And that was with 8 people. So that's pretty, considering there were only 2 dedicated days to writing. 2 were shore, that we got to go to shore. And then like I had a talk on one day and stuff like that. So it was just, it's exciting. So it was a lot of fun. And I met some incredible people. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at the pictures too. I'm like, oh, look at the pictures. They look so cool. Oh my gosh. We just had a great old time. So Zafel and I couldn't believe how peaceful it was just to like sit on the balcony and look out of the water. Like just the little simple things. So if anyone is looking for a writer's retreat at a very unique location, I would highly, highly recommend it. And bring your families. You can go write and they can go sit by the pool. And then you'll have time to sit by the pool too. Don't worry, there was plenty of downtime. Not a ton, because you are paying to get work done, right? But there was definitely downtime. Like I said, 2 days of excursions. The only thing we had were stuff in the evening. And there are optional things that you can do that you don't have to, right? So it was incredible. I'd highly recommend. But I am excited to catch up on some reading. And I am way behind. I'm very excited to read Dragon of a Different Color. It's the 4th book in the Heartstrikers series by Rachel Aaron. It is an indie published series, and I'm quite liking the journey and the characters, but man, these last 2 books, talk about needing to talk to an editor. Now, Rachel Aaron has been writing for a long time, and this is one of her like first series, so I have a feeling because her talent for it is there. She's really good with characters. She hits emotional beats really well. She's really good. I do not think she had a dev editor for these books. Look, it's not the cheapest part. For sure. So I understand when you're just starting if you can't afford it, but man, have someone read them. And I mean someone who knows what they're doing, like exchange with people, do something, because I never want to pick this book up. Even though I want to know how it ends, I want to know what happens. I never want to pick it up. The talking is circular. Like it's like, oh my God, I want to cut it out. I want to cut this. So it's like, I feel like I should be done with this book already. And I'm not. And it's very frustrating. Especially when this book is good, but it could be amazing. So, but that's an editor issue. I don't know anyone else would notice that except another editor, right? So, certainly it's not hurt her career because she hits the emotional parts. It has incredible characters. My gosh, they're so good. But they're trying to make this thing a mystery that is not a mystery we've known since the last book. And I'm like, oh my gosh, speed it up, speed it up. Speed it up. We already know. We already know whose children are whose children. So it's frustrating. But let me know in the comments what y'all are reading this fine evening. I see Charles is on. Hello, Charles. So good to see you. What are you up to? I heard you had today off. I hope you took advantage of that. Have you read Wildmane? Are you going to join us on Friday? Did you read it? So good. But I read it 2 months ago, so I'm going to have to flip through it real quick and write some notes. But my gosh, I love this book. I'm very excited to get to book 2. So happy that Todd agreed to be our next featured indie author. Like, I would bring Rachel Aaron on. We'll see what other series she has, because this series, it's really good. Just needs some cutting. It needs some cutting. And as I talk to people on the Wave Writers retreat, sometimes it's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell when you're the writer and you're close. I'm an editor. I still need an editor, right? You still need somebody outside who knows what they're talking about to help you, bring it up to that next level. So, but yeah. So I'm going to make headway in that today, because I need to get the 4th book done and the 5th book done. So, 4th is first. I'm supposed to get it done this month. I don't know if I'm gonna. I only have, a week and a few days yet. Charles hasn't read it yet. Come on, Charles. There's an audiobook too. So you can get the audiobook. I know you prefer audio. I think the 5th one might not be an audio, but the first 4 are definitely audio. Again, we're indie authors doing the best we can, which is why we're here to support. We're here to support, to help authors actually, make this magic happen. But excellent. Did I check? Can we get it from the library? I don't remember. What is that? I need a verification check for Libby. What does that mean? But which one is this? I have 2 cards on there, my Montgomery County and my Harris County. I don't know which one they want. I don't know. I don't want to do this yet, because I have an audio I'm listening to right now. Libby, you're very confusing. What do you want from me? I'm not going to do this right now. That's what's going to happen right now. You have to wait till I'm done with this audio. Because it just said verify card. It didn't tell me which one it was verifying. Isn't that confusing? It's very confusing if you ask me. Charles has just not gotten that far yet. That I understand, as I started the thing going, I need to read 20 books and I've read 8. I need to read 20, but I was going to be really happy with 12. 8 is not cutting it. I think I can get to 12 though. I don't know if I'm going to finish Hyrkin, y'all. I'm really scared. I don't know if I'm going to finish it. I cannot possibly read any faster than I'm reading. I just can't. So, Amberly says, hi, Kelly. Hi, Amberly. It's so good to see you. How are you this evening? I missed y'all last week, but I was in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico and I regret nothing. And Christina. Hi, Kelly. Christina. Remember to hydrate, feed thyself, check the laundry, take meds, stretch, and show some love to the like button. Also, make sure you sub and ring that bell so you hopefully get notified. Thank you, Christina. We appreciate our PSA. We need it. We're doing the best we can to take care of each other. Amberly says, I was out back planting tomatoes before the rain hits. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it keeps raining on and off and on and off. But I'm going to sit down and try to focus on this book. You can do it. You can do it, Amberly. Demers. I say your name different every time. I'm so sorry. I'm trying. Demers. Hi, Kelly. And hello. How are you? What are you reading? We missed you last Monday. By we, I mean I wasn't here. I missed you all. And Christina says hi to Amberly, Demers, and Steve. Cracks me up. Amberly says, hi, Christina. And Demers says, it isn't called the hardest reading challenge for nothing, but you've done so much so far. I'm so close, but again, I will finish it because I've read enough indie books. But that just feels like cheating. But, I didn't use any of the prompts. Those prompts where she has a prompt like every month, QWERTY does. And I have not used any of them. So I suppose if it's in the rules, it's not cheating, right? That's what I have to get through my head. It's in the rules, it's not cheating. And it's in the rules, so it's not cheating. So I'll just have to keep saying that to myself. I will say, though, if it's going to require this many books next year, I'm not going to do Hyrkit 3.0. I'm going to say, yay, I did the first 2 years, the inaugural years. I did complete the first one, and I will complete the second one, just not to my personal satisfaction. So we shall see. And Christina says, we missed you too, Kelly. Aw, thank you. I love BookTube. You people are incredible. Demers says, I'm reading Don't Let Him In by Lisa Jewell. I'm 60% done. Ooh, you're getting to the good part, right? 60% in a thriller is the good part. Christina says, hey, I saw this video earlier today. What video? What video did you see earlier today? Demers says, nope, that is definitely not cheating. See, thank you. I appreciate your support. I'm trying very hard to say that it's not cheating. Demers says, I hope you had a great time on your cruise. I will say, I'm not sure cruising is for me. I'd rather go to a place and really explore that place. But this was a work cruise. And I will tell you, like I'm saying, if I was a writer going this as a writing retreat, there are way worse places to have a writer's retreat. That was stunning for that. For having to work and do the things I had to do. I'm not much for just sitting by the pool. That's not my idea of a vacation. Though it surprised myself and Zafo how much we enjoyed just sitting on the balcony looking at the water. I had no idea. As much as I love sitting on the beach and looking at the ocean, it's not the same. And I didn't realize it wouldn't be. They were beautiful, calm seas. Calm as can be. It was gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Amberly says, it's not cheating if it's in the rules. Also, it's just books. There's no book police to hunt you down. I know. Like I said, personal, right? But I agree, and I appreciate y'all's support. It helps me just push through, and it's okay. That's what I say when I do my TBR videos, right? I'm like, it's just books. If I don't read it, you know what happens? Nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. It's fine. It's fine. Christine says, you're going to be a co-host. Oh, yes, for Kooky Mayhem, which is what I was working on, which is why I was 3 minutes late, because I'm making a really cool thing together. I had to choose what books I want to read based on what I need for Here Kid, which I saved a whole bunch of my ebooks for next month, so I could read them for Here Kid. And a couple I'm probably not going to get done this month, I put on there too. So I did the 12 one, but I have other books to read than just those, so we'll see. But I put them all on there, so I'm excited. I'm very excited. So I made this cool animation thing because I got like Canva Pro finally. I'm like, I should have just had this before. I should have had this a long time ago. It's always hard to hit the button on pay for this, right? And yeah, it's got this animation. It's just really cool. I'm excited. So I will post a really cool video about that now that I've decided what books I'm going to read. And there's some Kindle Unlimited on there. There's some Kindle that I already own. And there's some e-arcs, all of which I will read on this beautiful baby. Maybe, I've had these stickers on for like 2 years. I should probably move them around. What do y'all think? The sea turtle is appropriate for just coming back from the cruise. I think I will. I will reimagine my Kindle. And Glenda says, hello, Kelly. You were missed last week. Hope you had a good vacation. I did. And it was a working vacation, but I'll take it. And we missed y'all too. Glad you're here. Christina says hi to Glinda, and Demers says, yay for calm seas. Yeah, we were work because Zafo and I get so seasick. So seasick. Every time we go out on a cruise in Alaska, which is why we brought Ginger. We brought Ginger, and Zafo brought Dramamine, and he got a prescription for the patch that you put behind your ear that helps with it. We got everything just in case. Because the last thing we need, especially since I need to work, was to be miserably seasick while we were there. But it was nice, calm seas, and we were good. I took Ginger a couple times, and it calmed down what little bit was in my brain. And yeah, it was great. It was great. Demir says, is Kooky a whole month? Yes, it is. And Christina, if you have the link for the announcement that Nicole just put up, please put it in the chat. Obviously, I haven't filmed mine yet because the official announcement by Nicole at Dusty Book Sniffers just went up today. We got to watch it live. It was very cool. And yes, it is the whole month of May. And so it is for Kindle Unlimited books, Kindle books, or whatever, if you use Kobo, whatever your e-reader is. And she's added this year, if you do not use any e-readers, like Alicia, who's co-host with me, The Morning Time Pirates, she only reads physical or listens to audio. So she doesn't do any e-reader thing. You can also still participate this year. Just read your library. So we're very excited. I love this one because it's non-competitive. It is There are bingo cards if you want to do bingo cards. There's blank sheets if you want to do that. You can do 30 in 30 days if you want. You can challenge yourself to only read Kindle Unlimited. You can challenge yourself to only read ebooks you own. Like there are so many different ways to play it and still all participate. And of course, we have the 24-hour sprints. I love sprints. I must say I'm almost addicted to them, but to the point, I don't mean addicted, like I have to watch them, but I almost have to be on a sprint to read anymore. I mean, I read fine on the cruise, but you know what I mean. If I'm at my house, I will find other things to do. And there's just a sprint on. And then I can put the sprint on and I can read. It's so weird. It's almost like, you have to prepare yourself for something and like Christina's coffee and contemplation in the morning. So you have to prepare for the day. You have to do whatever you have to do to prepare. It's almost like the reading sprints prepares me to read. I'm like, oh, reading sprint, time to read. I can now concentrate. It's so funny. It's so funny to me. So funny. And there's the announcement. And the TBR playlist, but I don't know if anyone has recorded theirs yet. Like I said, I'm getting the graphics ready, so I will record it this week. And Christina's just getting it. You read my mind, Christina. You read my mind. You are the best. And Demir says, I have a ridiculous amount of ebooks, so this sounds like something I need to do, right? It's so much fun. Amberly says, I don't normally do Kooky, but I've collected a worrying amount of self and indie published fantasy ebooks that I need to start working through. So that's what I'll be doing. Yay! Welcome! Welcome. So watch the video. The Discord invite is on there as well. So you can come join us on Discord. And there are the graphics, the ones that I'm using, they're available to everyone who participates. So not just the co-host. So they're in there for everyone to use. So you can go through them. And if you want to use any of them to share on Instagram or whatever it is you use for your socials, they're there. If you want it just to print it so you have a copy sitting in front of you at your desk just for you, they're there for that too. So this is definitely a Let's All Read month. That's it. The theme is Let's Read. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's my favorite one all year long. Christina says, it is just Nicole so far. Yep, but if you save that link, you will see the others as they come in. There you go. Usually, Christina, I just go to your YouTube and find the stuff I need. like I saved the BookTube Bible thing. I was like, I can't find it. Hold on, where's Christina? I just go to your YouTube page and it's all on there. It's very nice. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm assuming you're going to put that on your page too as well for us, because that would be great. I know I would appreciate it. But yeah. So excellent. So thank you very much. We are going to go ahead and start our first 50-minute sprint. So we will do 2 to 3 50-minute sprints with 10-minute breaks in between and get as much reading done as we can. Since I'm reading my Kindle, I do not need my old lady light, so I will not blind y'all with my lamp. The Kindle is self-lit, so I can get it done then. And my drink of choice today is just tea. I just want tea. And Christine says, Nicole made these playlists, but they will be on my page as soon as I can. Yay! I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Let's start our first sprint. And there is our first sprint. And I got to page 232. So not halfway yet, but I'm working on it. And though there's cool stuff going on in this book, it's so slow. These chapters are so long. So it's taking me quite some time to read it. It's really sad. If this was the first book in the series, I would not read this series. So I don't know what that says right there. Let's see. Where were we? I think just as we went on sprint, Molly came. Here I am, Molly says. Hi, Molly. Good to see you. Amberly says hey to Molly, and Molly says hi, Amber. And Glenda says hello to Christina, Amber, Demers, Charles, and Molly. Molly says, yay, Amber is coming to the dark side. Kooky. Yes, the dark side. And Molly says hi to Glenda. Christina says, hi, Molly. And Zwank joined us. Howdy, Zwank. How are you this evening? Howdy, everyone. Had a Modelo Chelada mango and chili and pizza. Woohoo! Back to fucking PMP. You can do it. You can do it. I got to page 280 something today. That's not helpful. The pages are completely not helpful. What chapter did I get to? Hold on. We'll see. I got to chapter 44. So I need to read like another 50 pages in mine. I don't know how many chapters that is in order to be caught up. So I'll be ready for 100 pages book club on Wednesday to read the last bit. Yeah. Still don't like it. And Christina said, hi, Zwank. Amberly says, hey, Glenda. Hey, Zwank. And Amberly says, I'm going to try, Molly. I'm also doing Horror Mayhem next month. Ooh. So I'm not sure how many books I'll manage for Kooky. Well, if the horror ones are ebooks, you can do them both. You see? Look at that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Glenda says, hello, Swank. And Paula joined in. Hey, Kelly, just swinging by to love on the like button. Thank you so much, Paula. For some reason, oh, no, I know, because you have 3 X's. You gave me 3 kisses. But unfortunately, YouTube thinks that's a sexual thing and not an actual kiss thing. And they blocked you. That's so rude. So rude. I had to approve. And Allie, hey, Allie, good to see you this evening. Hello, everyone. I will be working on completing my lesson for class tomorrow morning and reading my PNP pages to get caught up for 100 Pages Book Club. Yay! You got this, Allie. You got this. We're here for you. And Swig says, woohoo, finish PNP. Yay, Pride and Prejudice. Congratulations. You're a week early, but it's nice to be done, right? Isn't it nice just to be done? I can't wait myself. And Book Hugga just finished an arc, The Mountains We Call Home. It was interesting and full. 1953 to 1960 something. Nice. Too many things to put here. I will have to get into a few before my thoughts are ready. I get that. Sometimes after reading a book, especially like a book that really covers stuff like that, it takes a minute to digest what it is that you've just read. I get that. I get that. And Swank says, going back to Herbs, Magic, and Murder. Ooh. And Book Hugga says, woot, woot, celebrate. That's right. Allie says, I got my lesson done and to page 387 out of 684 for Pride and Prejudice. Hey, you're past halfway. You're getting there. And Demers read 33 pages and says hi to Glenda. Molly says, do you have a link to where I can learn more about Horror Mayhem, Amber? Yeah, Molly likes to join all the things, Amber. So toss it our way. I don't think Amber can put a link in, though, Molly. Maybe she can give you a hint on where to look. Swank says, howdy, Glenda. Swank says, hi, Molly and Allie. And Amberly says, yes. Am I allowed to post links? No, unfortunately. You can... Are you on our Discord? If you're on our Discord, you can post in there. And Chris joined us. Hello to Kelly. Hello, Chris. So good to see you this evening. I am on my second sprint, not of 17. Molly says, and by the way, you can still attend Kooky sprints no matter what you are reading. Be there or be square. That's right. And Paula says, how rude. I always give 3 kisses. I know. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how YouTube works. And Molly says, "Grats, Swank." And Sherry joined us. Hi, Sherry. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. What are you reading on this fine, fine Monday? Though we will not stop reading, and it's kind of depressing. And Glenda says, hello, Chris and Sherry. Swank says, hi, Paula. And Paula says, hey, Swank. And Paula, and well done for finishing Pride and Prejudice. Absolutely well done. I will be so proud of myself when I finish it. I just want you to know that. I put it off my entire life. Swank says, couldn't celebrate 420, so got drunk instead. There you go. There you go. You're like, I'm going to be feeling good tonight somehow. I feel that. Molly says, I don't think so. You can either DM me in Discord for the horror link. In Discord, She Who Flies with Dragons, or just do what Paula said. Hint, hint. And Allie says, hi, Molly. And Molly says, hi, Allie. And Chris says, hello, Glenda and Paula. Swank says hi to Christina. And Jamie joined us. Hey, Jamie, it's so good to see you. I do not see you enough, so it is nice to see you. Hi, Kelly. And Allie says, hi, Christina. And Paula says, have any of the people reading Pride and Prejudice watched a version of Pride and Prejudice? I have not. Not a one, because I was always like, I'm going to read the book first, and then I never read the book. So I've been in love with Colin Firth my entire life and still have not seen Pride and Prejudice with Colin Firth. I don't know what to say. I'm like, I'm going to read it first, and I never did. But after this, I can watch all of them. So we'll see. So if you have one you particularly recommend, let me know. And Sherry says, hey there, Glenda. Paula says, hey, Chris. Molly also says, Chris. And I have not, Molly says. Ellie says, I haven't watched PNP movie. Yeah, see? So a lot of us have not seen Pride and Prejudice of any degree. Sherry says, I'm going to read Circe, Mistborn, and then Gone Girl. That sounds awesome. I have read Mistborn, quite enjoyed it. That ending, whoo! Circe is on my list. I think I'm reading it in June. I'm reading it this year. And Gone Girl I own, but I have not read. So those all sound amazing. And what a variety. I love that. I love to read a variety, and I love when other readers do as well. So that's awesome, Sherry. Jamie says, I think I've watched 2 versions of Pride and Prejudice and have read the book and the version of the book with zombies. Yeah, I kind of want to read P&P and Zombies. Swank says, Paula, just seen P&P and Zombies. There you go. So Swank has seen something, but, not Pride and Prejudice. Paula says, the BBC Colin Firth version is the superior version, in my opinion. Well, there you go. I mean, it's Colin Firth. I've always been in love with him. So that works for me, if I can find it. If I can't find it, my husband can find it. I'm sure he knows where it is. And Book Hugga says, I have not seen any P&P version yet, but I did get a version read while long-term subbing in a behavioral high school classroom. Ooh. Very academic to read in an academic setting, if we can call high school academic setting. And you are Jen. Hi, Jen. Hello. Good to see you. I'm so sorry I forgot to ask for your name. I just like Book Hugga. I mean, that's a great name. And Molly says, Sherry. And Paula says, oof, I dislike P&P and Zombies movie. The book was okay. Oh, there you go. And Molly says, hi, Jen. And Sherry says, thanks. Thanks, Cursed Dragon Ship. You're welcome. And Chris says, I never understood the point of the Austen books with zombies or sea creatures. Yeah, I don't know. People reinventing things for fun. And Paula says, hi, Jen. Because people will buy it. That's why, Chris. It's a business. Christina says, Colin Firth is Mr. Darcy. Yeah. There you go. That's 2 votes for the Colin Firth version. And Jen says, hi to Molly. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, we're having a good old time today. We'll see. I'm going to try really hard to get to page 300 tonight, but I have a feeling it's going to be close. Maybe, because I will also read this before I go to bed, so maybe I'll be able to do it then. Swank said, love Circe. Not a fan of Gone Girl. Didn't like any of the characters in the book, so didn't see the movie. Yeah, I haven't seen the movie yet either. See, I do that a lot. I'm like, I'm going to read the book, and then I never read the book. Hence, I never watch the movie. Do-do-do-do-do. And Jen says hi to Paula. And Paula says 100%, Christina. Sherry says, I like old-fashioned Pride and Prejudice books and movies. Very cool. I do want to watch, because the whole reason that Pride and Prejudice became a thing, I want to read it now, is because of Hurkid. And on Hurkid, the adaptations, it had the web series. So a book that was adapted into a web series. So the web series was the Lizzie Bennet Chronicles, Lizzie Bennet Diaries. I think Diaries, right? Yeah, Lizzie Bennet Diaries. I was like, well, I better read Pride and Prejudice, and then I can watch Lizzie Bennet Diaries. So that is what I will do. That's where I'm at this point. And Molly says, I'm going to attempt Pride and Prejudice and Zombies next month during Zombie-thon. I mean, that's appropriate, isn't it? That's appropriate. Amberly says, sent you a link on Discord, Molly. Molly says, awesome, thank you. Paula, I'm just finishing my round of my knitting, then heading to bed. Look, the 3 kisses this time I didn't have to approve. Well, unless Molly got it. Molly might have approved it. She's fast, that Molly. She's own it. She's own it. So, awesome. Well, have fun knitting. I'm assuming that's the dragon that you are knitting. Is so cute. And I hope you sleep well. Sherry says, I might put that on my summer reading list. Excellent. Swank says, Molly, me too. It's a reread for me. That's so fun. Jamie's like, I'm listening to The City and the City by China Miéville. I'm sorry, I cannot say their name. Is it China? While starting my NetGalley arcs. Nope, while sorting my NetGalley arcs into list based on page length. Oh, that's smart. I like that. Jen says, ooh, Jamie, that's a good idea. Yeah, that is a good idea. I like that. Chris says, there are a lot of Bollywood versions of the Austen novels. Bride and Prejudice is not bad. The Darcy is playing, though. I know, but that means it's a musical, right? I mean, that's fun. Chris says, hey, hello, Molly. Misty, hello. And Christina says, sleep sweet, Paula. Excellent. All right. Let's get this party started with our second sprint. Here we go. Well, I got to page 274. And if anyone was paying attention, I started skimming because remember I said that it talkies a lottie. And yeah, I'm skimming and I'm missing nothing. I'm missing nothing. I'm like, oh, you're still talking about that? Oh, you're still talking about that. So I'm just going to skim my way through to the ending, I think. I think that's what I'll do. Keep going. Reading the high points of the dialogue, beginning and end, and seeing, oh, something happened there, and then I'll go back and read it. It's very frustrating that something was so good that this is where we are right now. It's very frustrating. How did everyone else do? How was your sprints? What did you get done? Please, everyone, get an editor. Let's see. Christina put the co-host announcement for Kooky Mayhem in there just in case. And Cherry said, let's do this before the sprint. Yeah, we got this. We got this. Molly says, I didn't approve it though because I was adding Horror Mayhem to the May Readathon announcement playlist. Okay, so I guess because it was approved once they let it through? I don't know. Sherry says, sprint. I mean, she said it once, but I could just tell. That it was a chant. Chris says there's a Mormon film version of PNP as well, also a gay version called Fire Island. Fire Island is a Pride and Prejudice retelling? Zwank says, thanks for sprint, starting to fall asleep. See you in the morning. Absolutely, Zwank. I will see you in the morning. Glenda says, Lexi's on her final sprint. Excellent. Thank you. And Glenda says, good night, Swank. Have a good sleep and take care. Ellie says, good night, Swank. Sleep well. Yeah, I think this might be my last sprint too, because I want to go eat a sandwich and go to bed early so I can get up on time tomorrow. I'm almost recovered, but not quite, so I need a little extra sleep. I didn't have time to eat before I did this. So, and look, Paula's still here. I finished my round of my knitting, so to bed I go. Happy sprinting all. Absolutely, Paula. All right, did anyone have to approve that? Because it's 3 kisses. It's 3 kisses. Sleep well, Paula. Sleep well. Jamie says, I finished 5 chapters and sorted 7 pages, 140 arcs of my NetGalley collection by page count. Wow. And Jen says, I do that a bunch, sometimes in mystery cases. Weird. You mean skimming them? Yeah, I'm like, come on, man. Come on. Yeah, I got it. You already said that. I mean, there were like 10 pages of him saying, we need to do this. And then her going, but we totally can't because of this. And he's going, but we need to do this. And she's like, but we totally can't because of this. It happened over and over again. At least we finally had the revelation that we already knew about from the last book. Book 3, you'd have to be a complete moron to not figure out what the revelation is. And then it didn't come until halfway through book 4, even though we already knew from book 3. It's very frustrating. The skimming. Yeah, Jen, see, exactly, right? I'm like, okay, come on. The last book is only 300 and some odd pages, so maybe it's tighter. Maybe it's tight. It's just the magic that like the first book and then most of the second book had. It's just this third and fourth book. Ugh. And Demir says, I read 27 pages. I hope I can finish tonight. You're so close, Demirs. Molly says, I'm listening to a darling book called Oddfellows Orphanage. Huh. Is that middle grade or? Since you said darling book, I was just wondering. Amber Lee says, I am up to page 148 in Red City. It's still fine. Also had dinner. Oh, it's only fine. I've heard good things about Red City. Allie says, I got to page 402 in Pride and Prejudice. Ooh, nice. Nicely done. Jamie says, that does sound like an annoying book, Kelly. It's so annoying. It's most annoying because it could have been so good. The plot that she has going is amazing. So, like, if we could get through the talking, I'm like, can we not talk so much? Can we get to the action? Can something happen besides conversation? We already know what's going to happen because it's the only thing that can happen. So can you please go forward? So it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine because I'm just going to skim and I'll get all the good parts. Demir says, do you have to finish the series, Kelly? Yes, because I need it for Hurricane and I am not starting a new one. So, and I am curious about how it ends too. I'm not sure where it's going to end, right? What's the end game? I don't know. Happily ever after, I hope. But otherwise, I want to know where it ends. Jamie says, also over 500 pages of annoyingness. Maybe your book should be a few hundred pages shorter. Yes, that's exactly it. Last book too. Book 3 was also, I'm like, I would have cut 200 pages from this. And I would cut about 200 pages from this one too. Yeah, no. And this revelation we're having in this one, either don't drop all those hints you did in book 3, or you need to do the revelation at the end of book 3. So at the beginning of this one, we know what it is we're trying to hide from the person who can't know about it. But we already knew. It just wasn't said outright, but we knew. It was very obvious. So it's very frustrating. Allie says that does sound like a frustrating book. Apps, it is. It really is. Especially when books 1 and 2 were so good. And Amber Lee says, I'm finding Red City underwhelming, but maybe I'm just in a mood, right? Sometimes that happens too. I understand that. I totally understand that. Molly says, it's sad because the series had so much potential. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's exactly why. That's why I'm angry, right? I wouldn't be angry if I didn't care at all, right? If I didn't care about what was going to happen to these characters. If I hadn't already invested in these characters, I wouldn't be angry. I'd be like, whatever, DNF, next book, right? But instead, I'm like determined. I'm like, but I got to know what happens because I like these people. She did a great job building the character. But yeah, the plot, come on, man, move it along. The pacing, that's it. Sorry, the plot's fine too. The pacing is so off. So, and Demers is like, well, at least the last book is short. 100%. 100%. And it is middle grade. Yay. The face is a typo. Oh, okay, cool. I was going to say, you were so surprised that I guessed that? I mean, you gave me all the clues. You see? Don't wait till book 4 to tell me, Molly. You gave me all the clues. It's fine. It's all fine. But, yeah. This is why I don't want to pick it up, even though I want to know how it ends. So, yeah. Is what it is. And the main relationship, like these two in the front, they haven't been together at all in this book. At all. Like this their separate path is taking way too long. But it's all right. Fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. But I do think I am going to be done for the night. So considering I've been gone a week, I am working my way back to, more substantial schedule. Still working on it. Jen says, no foreshadowing needed for Molly's title. Exactly, right? I knew what it was. It was just a lucky guess. But yeah. Allie says, like your tie-dye shirt. Thank you. It is a Dragon Con shirt. See, it says Dragon Con. My favorite convention. Seifo's favorite convention too. Nothing like a fan-run convention that's that big. It's just amazing. There's nothing like Dragon Con. Gone to conventions and retreats and professional events and everything all over the country, and nothing is like Dragon Con. Jamie says, maybe read it with a marking pen and cross out everything unnecessary just for the satisfaction. No, I do that for a living. That is not satisfying. People pay me for that. She's not paying me. I'm just going to keep going. Is what it is. Again, everyone needs an editor, please. And I don't just mean a copy editor. This is clean. There's not a ton of typos. The punctuation is clean. Like, it is very clean. She obviously, got a professional, at least proofreader to go through and make sure it's all clean. So I don't mean that kind of editor. Very clean. I mean a developmental editor. You need a developmental editor. But I understand, because I was reading the first 2 books going, I don't understand, like this series was like a little popular, like people talked about it a bit and then it just faded away, and now I know why. This could be a huge, very popular series, except for books 3 and 4. So I get it. So the only people I'm sure who finished this series were the ones as stubborn as I am. You're the ones who finished it. Ugh. And Molly says, Jen agrees that I gave all the clues. Yes. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And didn't make me wait 500 pages to tell me. To verify the guess I had made. Yes. But yeah. All right. Well, y'all are amazing. Thank you so much for being here. And I will see any of you who participate tomorrow on Morning Time Pirates. We will be here at 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central, and to do our writing sprints. And I spent some time during Nicole's sprints earlier today organizing my thoughts because I reread some stuff this morning and I reorganized some thoughts. And so I do know what I'm writing tomorrow, and I'm very excited to get back to producing. So yay. And Jamie says, thanks for the sprints. Absolutely. Thank you for being here. It's not the same without y'all. And Demir says, good night. Good night, Demir. I hope you finish your book tonight. You can do it. You can do it. Get it finished up. And I'll see y'all tomorrow or next Monday. Bye.